let's talk about using classes and objects. First, you need to know the difference between class and object. I like analogies, don't you? We can use a cookie cutter and cookies analogy, but that would make you hungry. Let's try another analogy instead. A class is like a set of blueprints, and objects are like the houses built from the blueprints. One set of blueprints can be used to make many different houses. Also, the houses are not the same thing as the blueprints, right? You can't live in a blueprint, but you could live in one of the houses built from the blueprints. Note that the blueprints may have options, which allow builders to make each house slightly different. All the houses are basically the same, but can vary based on the options allowed by the blueprints. When you write programs in processing or Java, you will be dealing with classes and objects all the time. Later on, you will learn how to write classes. In the terms of this analogy, you will be making blueprints. For the time being, you're going to be using classes and objects. You will be following the blueprints to make houses, and then living in the houses. You specify the options you want your object to have by the parameters you pass to a special method that creates the object. In processing, there are often special methods used to create objects. In other cases, and especially with Java, you will use other special methods, called constructors, which are in the classes themselves. You know about parameters to methods because you watched the Smoothie video, right? Good. Let's look at one of the classes that already exists in processing, PImage. This class is used to display GIF, JPG, TGA, and PNG images in your programs. We're going to make a program that displays an image of Gamera. Gamera is my favorite nuclear-powered turtle. Gamera is also the friend of all children. First, some administrative details. To use an image in a processing program, the image needs to be stored in a folder named Data inside the main folder for your processing sketch. The easiest way to do this is to drag your image onto the processing IDE. Now we can make the image and display it. Objects know how to do things. They have methods that are associated with them. For instance, PImage objects know how to apply filters to the image. To see how this works, let's make the Gamera image into a grayscale image instead of color. We do this by calling the filter method from the Gamera object, using a dot, like this. Note that the filter method requires a parameter, telling which kind of filter to apply. In this case, we use the gray parameter to make the image grayscale. So what do you need to know in order to use objects? You need to know how to make them. Which method do you use to create the object, and what parameters does it take? Secondly, you need to know what the object knows how to do. What methods does it have? And what parameters do these methods take? You find all this information by looking at the documentation for your language. You should also study sample programs to see how they work.